Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's Brian and Jim here. Drink a beer and play a game, and welcome to another episode of the Power Hour podcast.
Yes, hello everyone. Welcome to episode 304. Thank you for joining us tonight. Speaking of thanks, big shout out and thank you to Bill from A Gamer Looks at 40 for hopping on last week. It was a great time talking to him. Make sure to check him out on the socials. Give his podcast some follows. He does some great work over there. And speaking of more thanks, well, thank you to all of our patrons out there. We have a new bonus episode up as we look at the 1995 classic heavyweights.
You know
Brian,
what,
why'd you pick
Jim?
that one? Right. Why'd you pick that one? Right.
Well, as I mentioned in the video, I watched it with my son. It just happened to be on Disney Plus. He got a kick out of it, and I said, "You know what? Something tells me this would be a little more interesting than Cabin in the Woods." Even though I'm still curious, I want to hear. I feel like you have some hate for that movie. I want to know what it is, but I was like, you know what? I need to see. I knew you never saw Heavyweights. It's a movie I felt like you needed to see. And Jim, aren't you glad I picked it? Wasn't it a delight?
Hey, everyone out there can find out my feelings for as little as $5 a month over on our Patreon. That's where they can find out, Brian.
But Jim, be honest. When I first said Heavyweights, did you just go, "God damn it"?
No, my first one was fuck yourself, Brian. Yes, I know what this is. You
Jim,
and Nick getting your jollies off.
Jim, are we one day gonna have to do Krampus and relive?
Yes, Brian, you are one gay. Yes, you are.
Damn it! Are we gonna redo Krampus, Jim, and your reaction during that movie?
Might as well just make a whole thing out of it. Throw in Zombieland, Krampus. Right, there will be a theme. There'll be a theme to these movies.
My favorite of all of them, Jim, is I don't even get a chance to laugh, and you're like, "Fuck you."
Maybe we'll have to do these movies and bring it up at the time. We can have more story time, Brian.
Yeah, but no, thank you, everyone. Truly appreciate supporting us. Make sure, if you haven't already and you're at that tier, check out the video. It was a lot of fun talking about that. Jim hit a new record with losing, and we have a new drinking game involved with guessing certain stats about movies. So check
It is shocking.
it out if you want to.
It is shocking we took so long to make a drinking game out of that. It seems so simple.
Yeah, I don't know why we never did before. But for those of you who support us, we truly, truly appreciate it. But Chambers, the real question tonight on this lovely 5/5/25 date. What are you drinking?
A little Cinco de Mayo action today. I'm not drinking a margarita, but what I am drinking is something that somewhat looks like a margarita because, Brian, from the Artisanal Brew Works, I am drinking their Warheads Extreme Sour Blue Raspberry Flavored Sour Ale. This is a malt beverage with natural flavor and certified color. Comes to us from the Artisanal Brew Works out of Saratoga Springs, New York. And this is well, it's actually looking more green now in the light. When I first poured it out, it looked like
very green.
It looked like neon blue when I first poured it out, but in the light, yeah, it's a green bastard, which it's blueberry. I'm confused. Or blue raspberry. Definitely smells like a blue raspberry Warheads. That is for sure. The taste of
We've had those before. I brought them at one of the parties or something. I remember I brought them a while ago.
It's actually like
since I had it.
It's actually kind of like a shockingly subdued flavor. Like you'd expect like way more punch in the mouth, and it's just like, yeah, it's an ale with a little bit of like raspberry sour in it.
Jim, was this on the clearance section?
There's a strong possibility it might have been in the clearance section there, Brian, and I might know
Is it
why.
expired? That's why I'm asking. Because my recollection of that was I didn't think it was overtly sour, but the way you're describing it leads me to believe it might be a little old.
There is no date on here, so Brian, it's as fresh as a daisy as far as I'm concerned.
So it's 2 years old.
Negative, no. Maybe
Nice.
The next one I'll give it a nice little shake up before I pour it out there. Maybe there's some flavor.
Yeah, shake your beer really good before you open it. I want to see that.
Right, this is the backup beer, so it'll settle. Before I bukkake myself at the halfway point of this show.
God damn it! Don't say bukkake yourself.
Why?
Damn it!
Brian, can you think of a better terminology? You can't. Go fuck yourself.
Moving on. I am not doing Mexican style beer either. Instead, I am doing It's Always Honey in Philadelphia, which is from the 10-7 Brewing, which is out in North Wales.
Hmm.
I never heard of them. I'm
Nah, me
actually
neither.
shocked how close they are to us. Of course, the name caught me. As soon as I say it, I'm like, all right, you caught me with wordplay. But what's interesting, it's a hazy IPA with honey. So I've had a lot of different IPAs. I've had milkshake IPAs. I don't know if I've ever had a honey IPA. And the color is, uh, I don't even know what it's uber cloudy,
That is
almost
thick.
like I don't even know like what to describe it as. It's thick. There's almost no bitterness to it, but it's not too sweet. So I feel like the honey just takes all any bitterness that would have been in it. And yeah, I don't know if I love it. I don't hate it, but like I got to get through one all the way. It's 7.2%. Um,
Right, I see you've
yeah,
abandoned no IPA May early this year.
I sure did, Jim. Actually, I thought about that when I was on the train today, and I went, "Oh yeah, no IPA May," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I think I already failed that like day one, not on purpose." So I was like, I might as well go all in. Well,
All right.
we have to do a return to that for sure, but
I'll I'll try to be the holdout. I'll try to hold out.
yeah, but the only write up they have is that it's a hazy Indian pale ale brewed in collaboration with Lansdale Honey, contains local raw honey, Citra, Mosaic, and Amarillo hops. So yeah, so far interesting. Like the label. Always love to give local guys a little bit of love. But Chambers, speaking of love,
You sure do.
it's gonna be all gay jokes, Jim. All bukkake and gay jokes. Is that what we're doing?
Hell of a day. Hell of a Cinco de Mayo, Brian.
What games you been playing, you bastard?
So I finally finished up Bloodstained. Glad to have that done. It took me just tiny bit over 24 hours, a full day of my life to beat that game. Um, I mean, I enjoyed it. I eventually enjoyed my time with it. It's not the best Metroidvania in the world, but it is very, very solid. It's got a lot of bloat in it, I have to say, but I still enjoyed it for what it was. And then, of course, I'm still, in my throes with StarCraft 2. I actually have a little bit of free time coming to me this weekend, so I'm going to jump back into Terminator Salvation, hopefully blast that out. Or no, Resistance. Salvation's the movie. And whatever. It's all post Terminator 2. It's all crap. But
Hey,
uh,
don't you hate on three?
look, Brian, I appreciate a movie where the boobs can get bigger on command. All right? I'm a man of taste over here. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, I'll jump back into Terminator. I should be able to get that done. I'll be 5 games in by May, so I'll be at a decent pace again. And yeah, in between that, I'm just in the throes of editing together all these videos on the second channel, my StarCraft channel that I started. Uh it's not like it's hard to edit these videos together, but I just did so many at once. So I was like, I'm going to give myself a backlog. And I'm just like, oh crap, I actually have to do the work of like uploading and editing and thumbnailing and all that crap. It's bit of a pain, but it's a thing to do. And also, maybe we'll finally get around to doing some of the old thrifting videos and jump back into them again because I have all this footage. I might as well get some use out of it.
And speaking of, I actually saw a decent number of games at Goodwill the other day. Not saying they
Really?
were good games. I'm just saying I was shocked to see games again. So I was like, huh, maybe the times is they're turning. I don't think we'll ever hit the glory days that we did way back when, but still,
No.
it's always a nice little just seeing stuff. But even DVDs, like secondhand, I used to get them from Goodwill all the time. They would have great sales. Now they're overcharging on this shit so much where unless it's legit a game I want, I'm not paying like $5 for a game. Like that's like kind of bullshitty. But yeah, um,
The glory days of getting them for $1, $2, and getting
mhm,
quality for that price. Yeah, that's
it's
never
gone.
happening again. Gone?
It's going. But Chambers, we talked last week. I did mention that I finished BioShock Infinite. I still think I really want to see your take. I would like to see you finish that series because I know you did the first one, you really liked it. I want to see you do a second one and then eventually get to the third one to see if you agree with where I'm at with it. It's completely fine. It's just painfully average, and if it didn't have BioShock name to it, it probably could have been better because you wouldn't have had expectations.
Yeah.
But as a little bit of a palate cleanser, I went with this game called Crime Scene Cleaner, and I actually finished it. It's Power Wash Simulator meets that game. I think it's called Serial Cleaners.
Yep.
Um, you're literally just cleaning up a murder scene, and you gotta like get the blood, you gotta find evidence, you gotta do all these things. It's such a I put on music and just turn off my mind and chill. It was nice because I have a lot of very heavy story based games coming up. Like I have Hellblade Senua 2. Um, I got my N64 back hooked up. I'm gonna get through Ocarina of Time. I'm
Finally
gonna
gonna
do
do
it.
it, huh?
Yep. And then I got Blasphemous 2, God of War Ragnarok, and Black Myth Wukong. So I got 5 games left, but they're very big games. Still think I beat the biggest one with Red Dead Redemption 2, with how many hours I put into that. But still, it's none of these are short. So I need it to palate cleanse, and I've been doing a lot more Dead by Daylight as my I need that like I got 20, 30 minutes. I can get a game or two in, and just trying to get my bearings in that again because I've been away for a while and there's all this new bullshit. And especially because Five Nights at Freddy's is going to be coming to the game, and my son for sure will want to see it. I gotta like get back up to playing so he can see it. So yeah, that's kind of where I've been at with that. But just like you, Chambers, I know I mentioned last episode this past week has been dog shit crazy for me, but where I am so close, Berserk Boy is going to be done hopefully very, very soon. I did already have all the footage from our first X-Men playthrough. So when we get together, we'll not only be able to record that, but we'll also do a couple more ranking videos, and we'll be able to round out X-Men 2 as well as Max Payne, hopefully within the next 2 months or so. And it's all thanks to you awesome patrons, Chambers. What questions do we have this week?
The questions you can find over at patreon.com/drinkabeerandplayagame, where for as little as $2 a month, you can ask a question that we will answer on each and every single one of these Power Hour podcasts. First up from JD Maines. What is the better movie from 1987, RoboCop or The Lost Boys?
I got to go Lost Boys. I mean, me being horror, but also I think there's more. RoboCop is good, and I love it, especially after playing that game. Oh my god, I fell back in love with the series again. But that first movie, it's fine. Like I enjoy it, and it has its moments, but to sit through all of it, I'm kind of like, there's a lot of low points for me. Lost Boys, I can go back to time and time again. That's at least a yearly watch for me. Still has a great soundtrack. They both have great soundtracks, but I'm sorry, Tim Capello on the saxophone and Cry
All
Little
greased
Sister.
up. All
I
greased up.
mean,
Brian has a thing going
I
tonight.
mean, what can I say? It's a great movie. It's that and Fright Night are two of the best '80s vampire movies. I don't know which one I like better, but yeah, got to go Lost Boys.
I'm RoboCop all the way. It's a perfect like satire parody kind of movie. It's just such over the top gore with like great comedy moments with just some heartfelt moments. The movie to me is perfect. Like Brian, what low points? What low points are in that movie?
Um, Honestly, it's low leading up to when he gets shot to bits. And then as they're rebuilding him, not until he gets back up is it interesting again. And then there's that kind of lull before when he first goes out and starts busting everyone. You're like, yeah. And then there's a little bit of a lull. And then the big fight, a little bit of a lull, and then a final fight. It's all in between the action. And there are moments, you're not wrong. There's some good comedy. Um, but it's not enough. And that's not to say it's not a good movie and I don't enjoy it. I'm just saying that's what I find when I watch it. And I'm always right, so go for yourself.
I was gonna say it's okay to be wrong. So that's fine.
Yeah, you're always wrong, so that's why you got to say it's okay.
Next up from Basic Brian E. What is the worst, disgusting, cheap, low tier beer? And this has to be easy for us.
Yeah, I mean, the beer I know we hated the most was Yingling light beer because it was so
And light beer, we always have to
unflavorful.
specify light beer and
Yeah.
not the light lager. The light lager is great. The light beer, awful.
Yeah. For some reason, it's bad, leaves a bad taste in your mouth. It's not strong at all. So it's like you get no benefit of getting drunk, plus bad tastes like leftover Yingling that somebody poured some water into. It's just not good. Now I will say more disgusting. I still go with like the Rise, that Old Bay beer. That shit was just nasty. Um,
Yeah,
but
that
as
was
far as
nasty, but it's not like a low tier beer. It was just like
no,
a
no,
swing and a
that's what I'm
miss.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Yingling light beer for whatever reason. We've had a lot of the macro old style brews that like people would normally shit on. That's one I can say I genuinely didn't like, and it's one I feel like we got to revisit, Jim, because you and I have that same memory of that beer, and I feel like I wonder if we go back to it now, if we'll still hold the contempt for it.
Yeah, I know we have had a much more refined palate than we did 11 years ago. Oh God.
Jim, we also need to revisit Pit Fighter on the Super NES as we
Nah,
figured that was the worst one.
actually, Brian, I still say the worst game we ever played was Wayne Gretzky hockey on the NES.
Oh no, I meant fighting game. I
Oh,
totally
that.
agree. Wayne Gretzky hockey that was dog shit. But yeah, I mean, it didn't help. We were also many Stellas deep in a lot of those early videos.
She's a good girl. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
God, because you know what the thing is for like, I like a lot of cheap shit beer. Like, I like Lion's Head. I like Keystone. I love like
I thought you said shit beer. You're naming classics.
I know. That's why I'm struggling here. I'm trying to say what the people out there would consider shit beer, Brian. Like Jenny's not bad for what it is. Hams, we love
Yeah,
us our hams.
dude, Hams
You know,
is so
if I
underrated.
had to say one, I would maybe say like just because of how overrated it was for a couple years because of TikTok fucking Bush Light. Like I don't know why Bush Light became like the meme TikTok beer. I have no idea why that happened. Like it's no better than Natty Light and they both suck. And it's like why would I have a Bush when I could have a flavorful delicious Keystone for the same kind of price? Like this is ridiculous here.
We've talked about it. It's the same as Paps when we were growing up, and that for some reason became the hipster, cool, cheap beer. And I wouldn't say it's bad. Might have caused your asshole to bleed, but I wouldn't say it was bad.
Yeah, like I mean, it did. Actually, the last two times I've had it, I have not had bloody butt. Now I haven't had a ton of them at the time, but normally I'd have like one, and I'd look down the next day and be like, "Uh oh." But like, I don't hate PBR, but like, I even like the Narragansetts and the Kensingers of the world,
Mm-hmm.
and why like Narragansett now at bars is like $4 or $5. Like that shit used to be $2 for a tall boy. This is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, even like the cheap beers aren't even cheap anymore. So like, what the hell can you call cheap?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, I think it's just now. I don't even know if there's like like for a while there with craft beers getting so much love, it was so easy to hate on all the major ones. I feel like I don't hear that anymore.
Yeah,
Maybe the tides they just have turned, Jim. I don't know. But
maybe. I mean,
but yeah,
craft beer is on the downturn too, so maybe people just aren't as fanatical, I guess, about it or
yeah.
digging their because I mean, there were some like what was like a craft brewery that like I don't know, was any craft brewery really overhated? I can't think of any.
I'm sure there was, but it's probably any craft brewery that like was a legit craft brewery and then got bought up by a big company and then people would just hate on them just for association, not for product. You know how that goes. Oh, they sold out. It's like, yeah, that's what companies do. They want to make money.
Yeah, like no matter what, everything like it always goes back to AB and Bev anyway to be the big bad guy. So whatever.
Yeah. No, but I like that question though. Yeah, just avoid Yingling light beer, not Yingling light, Yingling light beer.
Agreed. All right. And that wraps up the questions for this week. So, once again, thank you to everyone out there for the support. We really do appreciate it. Head on over to iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, or YouTube, wherever you are listening to this. Give some subs, give some likes, give some comments. Anything you can do can and will help the page. Share the show with your friends. If you like this show, share it in your Discords or your group chats or whatever. If If they like games or beer, throw it their way. Help us out over here.
So, Chambers, you put a topic up here, and I changed it right away because three is just fucking ridiculous. Um, you said top three wrestling themes,
Oh,
and I said
yes.
top five.
That came to us from the Discord from good old Kit in there. So I actually forgot that was on here. So thank you for the reminder,
So,
Bry.
so Kit, I'm going to say this. Well, as soon as I saw three, I said, I can't do three. I need to do five. As soon as I did five, I said, I can't fucking do five. I need to do 10. And I can honestly say, trying to make any type I love making lists. This was so fucking heartbreaking because I went through a whole day of like looking up and like, oh, I think I got it. And then I would find somebody else. I'm like, son of a bitch. So Jim, since you forgot it was on here, I'm sure you can get your five or whatever you want to say. I need to just go through mine really quick because I have some honorable mentions before I get to my 10, and I can go through them fast. But I did do one caveat. If a song was not original for the wrestler, I couldn't use it. So I couldn't use One of a Kind for RVD, even though I really like that one a lot. And I couldn't use what the fuck is it called? Here to Show the World for Dolph Ziggler, even though I
Mm-hmm.
really like that song. Both songs really enjoyed, but I couldn't use it.
Bry,
As far as
you want to have a monkey wrench thrown at you then with that rule. You can't use Real American for Hulk Hogan
why,
because it was originally made for Wyndham and Rotunda.
it's Hulk Hogan. I don't count
Nope,
that.
nope. Wyndham and Rotunda, Bry. Can't do it.
Nope, I don't count that.
It
Just like you
says it
can't
at the
use
end of the song. It is the
just
promo
like
at the end
it
of the song, Brian.
doesn't matter. It counts. Just like you can't use CM Punk.
I wasn't going to under that rule, obviously.
But honorable mentions. See if you agree with my honorable mentions. Hardy Boys. I like it. A little bit simple, but it's a good tempo. Same exact thing with the Ultimate Warrior. I love that theme, but it's very, very simple, but it gets you hyped up. This one, I'm actually curious if it will end up on your list. Gold Dust. I
Go,
actually really, really like his theme a lot. And I don't want to call it complex, but there's a lot of different layers to it and moments in
mm-hmm.
it that I'm like, yeah, that was a great song.
Fuck, if I might just have to do mine in the top 10 now, too. Fuck.
And then it kind of breaks my heart, but John Cena, the time is now. There is something I do love about that song. I know it got overused. It is a great song, but it can only be an honorable mention for me. So I'll run through my top 10 and Jim, if you want, I mean, it's up to you. If you're making your list, you can also just say if it would be in your top 10 as well. See
Okay,
how close we are. This is not in any order. I want to say this as well. So Bret Hart's theme.
that's on mine.
Yep, just that opening as classic. And I would play the music, but fucking YouTube, of all the shit that gets pinged, I can never do wrestling music. So
WWE is vicious. They are
yeah,
vicious with it.
so I can't do it. If you don't know any of these songs, look them up. Next is Stone Cold.
Yeah, that was
The
going to be on mine.
glass breaking and just yeah, how do
Not
you
the
beat
fucking
that?
Disturbed version, the original, the
No,
classic,
the
the Jim
original.
Johnson. That's the one it's got to be.
Next, Hulk Hogan. I don't care what you say, Jim, but I do want to make the caveat, not the original, the one where there's a little bit of a what's the audio term for it? It's like a little bit of a reverb or an echo where he's like, I am a rhythm. It's like it starts really low, him singing that part,
Yeah.
whereas his old version just went right into the guitar. You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
well, you mean just like the album version verse what he comes out to? Yeah.
Yeah,
It's still the
love
same
the
song,
shit out of it.
basically. They just chopped off
Yeah.
the early part. Yeah.
Uh, Undertaker. Now I'm putting him there as either his like, his classic, just dun 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 dun, that version or the Ministry version. I want to be very clear, where it's an electric
I
guitar.
would actually go ministry version.
I do like the Ministry version a little bit more, but there was something about listening to all the versions of I call it the classic Taker theme, that made me go, oh, fuck. I missed that mood it set when like the lights would go out and the bell would toll and you're like, oh, shit. But the
Yeah.
Ministry version is better. The next one actually surprised me. And I also want to be clear, this isn't my favorite wrestlers. I Walk Alone, Batista's song.
That's a solid one. It wouldn't be on my list, but that's a solid one.
Yeah, I love that. Um, Chris Jericho, Break the Walls Down.
Yeah, it's a
And
classic.
starting with their brr, 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 brr. Like that countdown. I was never a Jericho fan when he was in WCW, but his arrival to WWE and how they did it, and then eventually to that song, love the shit out of it. Next, I know this isn't gonna be on yours, but Randy Orton voices.
Yeah, it's not on mine. I like it, but I mean, since I'm more of a current fan, I'm kind of played out with it too. But
Uh,
voices is fine.
Next, DX. I love the fuck out of it. Like it's just as classic as you can get. Um, Nothing about that I can say bad. And then my my last two, Ted DiBiase. I
Ah,
have always loved that theme. His laugh, and it's another extremely simple song, but I don't know that riff just gets me every time. And him talking, everyone's got a price, everyone's gonna pay. And then of course, number one, fair wrestler, HBK. Like I can't not have that on there. Love the shit out of it. Not the bullshit Sherry version, the actual HBK singing version. So
nice.
yeah, that was my list.
All right. Let me see. Do I have 10 on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, I got 10. So once again, in no particular order, and I left Hogan off because of Wyndham and Rotunda. So I have Goldust on there. I've got Cena. I've got Time Is Now. Brian, I've got one I'm shocked you don't have on there. Brock.
I like it, but when it holds up against other themes, I would put that right next to Ultimate Warrior or Hardy Boys. Very simple. It's effective. His entrance is if it was their actual entrance, it would be on there. But the song by itself, a little simple for me.
Very simple, but you know what? Almost more than anything else, it gives you that oh fuck feel.
Yeah, that first that I mean that guitar coming in, you're like, what the fuck is that? It is
Yes.
great.
So Bret Hart, of course, on there.
Hmm.
Shawn Michaels on there. Stone Cold on there. I have two WCW ones on here. Sting, Crow Sting,
Okay, it's
and okay,
it's fine. Yeah.
fine. And then I've always for like 30 years I've had it stuck in my head. The Four Horsemen theme towards like the last run of the Horsemen. It was like back when they had like Mongo and Benoit and interspersed like I think who
Dean
else was in there?
Malenko.
Dean Malenko, yeah, during their run.
Yeah.
Because there's like seven Four Horsemen themes, but
Hmm.
that's on there. Uh Taker Ministry, I'm kind of I was like, man, I should put that on there, but Brian, I'm going with my heart. I'm going with Lex Luger's third WWF theme. The one when he came out at WrestleMania 10. It's the one that's in WrestleMania the arcade game. I think that's like one of the most underrated wrestling themes of all time.
Hmm. I'd have to listen to that one.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
it's
not when he was the narcissist.
nope, not when he was the narcissist and not when he was coming out to Stars and Stripes Forever. It was the one after that. But before it got spliced in with Bulldog when they were the Allied Powers and that weird fucking theme they had. So it's a very niche theme. And
Yeah.
Brian,
Oh, go on.
rounding this out, D. Low Brown.
Ooh, that is a. You're looking at the real deal
That's
now.
fucking
Woo.
right, you are.
Uh, you know what's funny? On my honorable mentions, I was gonna have Mark Henry. Somebody gonna get their ass
Dude,
kicked.
that's a great
I
one.
love that song. And to piss you off, you know what I was gonna put on here?
What?
Don't turn your back on the wolf pack.
Oh, God. Fucking God, I hate the
Just to
Wolfpack theme.
piss you off.
God, it's
I
so
love that
bad.
theme. I know, but it's so good. Doom, 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 doom. Like
Actually,
I consider
shockingly,
putting NWO.
I'm surprised neither of us had NWO on there.
It, you know what? It is. I can't say anything bad about it. It's a great, great theme. I was shocked neither of us. I guess I'm not that shocked that neither of us put Goldberg on there.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It would have to be the original WCW version, but I mean, it's really good. But maybe it's played out. Maybe that too. It's a little slow.
You know
Unfortunately,
what
you
I
can't do
didn't
a
put
lot of
on there?
ECW themes because they were all just ripped off real music,
Yeah, they were just yeah.
except for when like
Um,
maybe Taz redid War Machine without like the vocals and him just going "Survive if I let you."
well, his theme I can't remember it, but I remember liking it when he came to WWE, even though he was a shitbag once he hit WWE. His
Yeah,
theme I remember being pretty cool.
yeah, his theme was good there. I mean, we couldn't do Kurt Angle because the Patriot had it first, so
Yep. Well, Jim, I'm actually shocked. One I almost put on mine that I was sure you'd have on yours was Shield.
Shield's pretty good.
I
As a song itself, it's not great. If I was going to do any of their themes, I would probably do Roman's theme circa like 21, the head of the table
mm,
one. That's like the
okay.
best version of his like, bad guy run theme. Uh yeah, like Seth's theme's pretty good. It's fine. Uh Dean's in WWF sucked, and the Death Riders theme in AEW is fine. Like if I was gonna do any AEW themes, I would probably do like Ricky Starks' back when he was still in there, and like maybe Kenny Omega's, I guess, like his most recent one. But
What about what's his face? I considered Bray Wyatt, but it was a little too simple. Very moody, but very simple.
Bray's I like. Bray, I actually have his theme on my phone, but it want to crack a top 10 for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I was see, I thought you would have went Ted DiBiase too.
I do like the money, money, money. It's great. Mr. Perfect would have been an honorable mention too.
He was right there with it, but yeah, Ted DiBiase sold it for me. I mean,
And actually, if you want to
yeah.
talk like a good ripping song, just wasted, the Ascension, the tag team from WWE in like the mid 2010s.
Oh yeah, yeah,
They were
yeah.
a dog shit team when they came up, but their themes fucking ripped.
What about did you like any version of Edge's themes?
Um,
What was it called like Metallurgy or Metal something?
Metalingus. It's been his one for the last
Metalingus,
like
yeah, that's what
20
it
years.
was.
Metalingus is fine. You know what? You know what's weird? It's one that when I go back and listen to like the full version of it, it kind of sucks. It sounds worse with how it's like normally arranged. You know what? I like Cody's theme. Uh,
Hmm.
Kingdom. That's a damn good song.
What about
That could
Edge's
be an.
original? You think you know me? Actually, I
Brood
see.
could be up there. Brood was great.
I see.
Gangrel.
I'm actually yeah. Broods was yeah. That actually is a banger. I mean, Legion of Doom. I considered for a minute.
That is a good one.
I also was thinking about. See, I thought you were gonna go more goofy shit. Like, I thought you were gonna go with like Al Snow. What is everybody? Or Big Show? Well,
Nah,
the
fuck the Big
big.
Show's theme. Uh, and Al Snow, I can never put anything over fucking Prodigy during his ECW run. So,
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. There
right, you didn't
was
have Steve Blackman. Boom, 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 boom,
that
boom, boom,
fucking
boom, boom.
song. Yeah, I mean there were so many. You know who I actually liked? I liked Owen Hart Danger theme.
Oh yeah, that's a great one. Or
It was
Blackheart.
like yeah,
Or,
it kind of reminded me like of a Genesis song. Like
yeah,
it was very like trash canny. I don't even know what to call it, but yeah, I remember liking that a lot. But yeah, dude, this was such a fucking hard list, and I love questions like this. You know, I love my list, and it right away when I started doing this, I was like, man, we should really do a ranking video. I'm like, oh yeah, it'll
we
get
can.
flagged immediately. So
Yep.
I'm like, that breaks my heart that we can't do that. I would love to do that. Just to listen to them all.
I,
But D'Lo Brown, that is a good pull. Actually, you know what? I'm shocked. Neither of us, which makes it on every top 10 list, is any version of the Rocks themes.
um, that was a very close one for me for The Rock. If I had to pick one of the versions, it's going to be the Hollywood Rock 2003 theme. Like I was an old school guy going into there, but just how it's more simplistic, but it's more punchy, and I think it just hits
Mm-hmm.
harder. And
Yeah.
I'm a huge actual fan of his original Babyface run version of his song too. Like that was like one of my favorites to play off WWF The Music Volume 2. You can like see
Mm-hmm.
the seeds of his future theme in that song, but yeah.
Oh, god damn it. You know what I didn't have on here? Which I actually would have had in my top 10, but you got to tell me. I don't know if it's original. Triple H, the game.
Yeah, that's original for him. Pretty sure.
It was original.
I
Okay.
think Motorhead made it just for him. I think they like commissioned it or whatever.
I legit love that song. Like that was always that was another great one.
Yeah, I mean it's really good.
Fuck. Yeah, great job, Kit. I love these list requests. So let us know what themes. See, I figured you would go Daniel Bryan, but then when I said you can't use unoriginal, I mean it's
Yeah,
Rise
I
of
mean it's
Valkyrie. So
Ride of the
yeah,
Valkyries, yeah. Sami Zayn's like if you want a good like get like pump you up fucking baby fist or face song, or like
Baby
Shinsuke
Fist.
not baby fist, yeah, great. Or Shinsuke Nakamura when he first debuted, like that fucking violin song, that's an all timer. Man, fucking CFOs, shout out to our good old buddy Tom from Rose Mortem. Like they made such good songs in the mid 2010s. Now fucking Def Rebel just
Mhm.
shits out shit after shit. Ugh, awful.
Yeah, I love that topic. So thank you again, Kit.
Yep, we can go on forever about that.
But
Right.
James,
Speaking
speaking
of
about going on forever, I stole your
good.
transition.
We had the same one
Um,
going. Right, there's
GTA
a
6. What the fuck is going on with this, Jim? I mean, I had to look up the launch timeline of this game, and development started in 2014, and in 2022 they announced it's well underway. A lot of announcements after that. In May of 2024, they said fall 2025 release date. They were kind of on target, and then what they drop us with, Jim?
well, Bry, as of 3 days ago, Grand Theft Auto 6 is now coming May 26th, 2026. Uh, we are very sorry that this is later than you expected. The interest and excitement surrounding a new Grand Theft Auto has been truly humbling for our entire team. We want to thank you for your support and your patience as we work to finish the game. With every game we have released, our goal has always been to try and exceed your expectations, and Grand Theft Auto 6 is no exception. We hope that you understand that we need this extra time to deliver at the level of quality you expect and deserve. We look forward to sharing more information with you soon. Sincerely, Rockstar Games.
Listen, Rockstar has one of the worst histories of they had Red Dead 2 delayed multiple times, and for a game that costs 2 billion, whatever the fuck it was. I remember some outrageous number. Um I get delays happen, but by that amount of time is fuck like if it would have said, "Oh, instead of fall 2025, even if they would have said January, there would have been something that would have sat better with me." Um I don't know. I'm very hard on companies like this because I'm like, how did you miss your mark this much? Someone who cares very much about schedules, uh, in my profession, this would drive me up a fucking wall. And there better be a really good excuse. Like they must have found some like game crashing bug that they're like, fuck, we need to go back to code and do like I don't know what they could have possibly done, especially because they have gameplay trailers. They clearly have I'm sure alpha versions of this game or whatever. Like, I don't know. Am I being too tough? Is it better that they're trying to course correct instead of giving us a game that's buggy as fuck? Or I don't know.
Now, I'll always say it's better to course correct. So, of course, when this first got announced, the people were throwing the rumors around like, what's going on? Is this because of tariffs and them trying to get more money? Is this because of Nintendo raising game prices and them wanting to raise it even more than the rumored $100? And then I didn't link at any of them here, but I saw like one or two journalists basically say, no, according to our sources, like the game needs more time. So I think this is going to be like this is actually getting scary now. Not for, another delay, but the fact that it's like such a crippling delay that this far out. It's like they must be throwing everything at this game, especially for being costing $2 billion. So it's like one, it's going to get in that. It's already probably in that territory where no matter what comes out, there's no way it's going to live up to the hype. It's got that Half-Life 3 problem now. Just they never did anything with Half-Life 3. And two, like if this isn't a smash hit, like could Rockstar die just from like one colossal $2 million bomb? I mean, or 2 billion. I guess if you have a bomb that you put $2 billion into, you probably should go out of business. But yeah, I mean, this is getting fucking hairy now.
GTA is to me it's just like any first party Nintendo. I think it's too big to fail. I think it will not fail. Like I if you just give a bigger version of GTA 5, people will eat it up and love the fuck out of it. It's just it's that game. So even if it's not received well, I think it's gonna sell like fucking crazy. Um,
And I
May is a
mean,
weird time though. Like if they could have gotten out in fall, that would have been perfect for Christmas time. So I think they're fucking themselves out of a lot of money by not getting ahead of the Christmas time rush. Um, but I don't see, like I said, maybe it underperforms a little bit, but I think in the end it'll be just fine. Is my guess. Unless, like I said, is there something really wrong with the game? I don't know.
and and now that you talk about it, I mean, the big reason for five success was because of GTA Online. So if they keep
Hmm.
that running and they keep, they just update it for six, they will probably be fine. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's like the campaign itself, like because people did love the five campaign, but
yeah, it was really good.
I mean, the five campaign isn't what made it the most successful game of all time, though. So honestly, it has a safety blanket. Now that you put it that way, yeah, they'll probably be fine, but it's just bizarre. Like there is a thing that I saw that the development time for six from five has now taken longer than the development time and lull for every other GTA game combined, which is crazy to think about.
I yeah, I once again, I see your point and I do agree. I think it's better to give a better product, but to be off by that many months, because once again, fall could mean many things. Do you mean September? Do you mean end of October or November? Like there's a range there, but it's a pretty short window. So to be off by 8 months, 9 months, maybe like that's I don't know. To me, that's insane. But we'll see what happens. Do you think it gets? Here's my question: do you think it gets pushed back any further? Now that they gave a specific date too, you better not move that fucking date. Is my point. Like it better not be
Yeah,
now, like June, July. Like no, you gave May 26th or whatever. Do not move that date.
dude, if they do it again, they're gonna be getting into like Duke Nukem Forever territory. So,
Yeah.
like, there's gonna be crunch time. There's gonna be gun to the head of these developers to get this shit right.
So we'll see. You guys let us know in the comments below. Why do you think they were delayed? Is there good reason, bad reason? Tariffs, Nintendo, Jim? You tell me. What's the reasoning?
How you feeling about it? Is your confidence shaken, or do you go, it's GTA?
Yeah.
All right, Bry. Well, we just talked about massive delays, something shaking up the system with one of the most highly anticipated games out there. But, Bry, let's talk about a game that is, one could say, a tentpole, or was, because there is a shakeup in the world of console exclusivity, Brian. Gears of War is coming to the PlayStation 5. Announced today. Gears of War Reloaded will be, well, let's say it from PlayStation themselves. Rev up your Lancers. Gears of War Reloaded comes to PlayStation 5 on August 26th, remastered from the ground up. So this is a full remaster of the original Gears of War, and it will be coming to Xbox Series X, Windows PC, PlayStation 5, and Steam on August 26th. Bry.
So here's the deal, Jim. My favorite part about this, I went through the comments for the next couple topics. There's all these like, Xbox is dead. I'm like, you realize any PlayStation person that buys this is just putting money into Xbox hands. Like you and I have talked about this. Xbox is like, I don't give a fuck where it is. I want everyone to play my games at this point. They're gonna try so hard. I bet with the Switch too, they're gonna try and get a way to get Xbox Game Pass on there. Like they will put their shit on a fucking on anything. Like it does not matter to them. And you know, exclusivity will breed competition between consoles, but like it's a dying market in a world where Nintendo will end up being probably the only exclusive one. PlayStation will hold out, and Xbox may hold out like Halo or something. But at the end of the day, yeah, Gears of War that was just under Halo as far as the thing that Xbox was known for. So, um, I can't say I'm at this point. I'm not shocked. Like I figured it would happen at some point. Um, I kind of expected Halo to go first, but I guess it makes sense. Like go with the second tier with Gears of War. So I know you're more for like keep things exclusive. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Like if people want to play it, let them play it. I think this is just a better attempt to try to keep consoles relevant at this point because eventually it's all going to go to PC. PC and Nintendo will be where it ends up, and I don't want that. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I am always against, the end of exclusivity, but I'm kind of throwing in the towel. Like, it's this doesn't hurt me because I was never huge into Gears, not because I didn't like the games, I just never really played them. But seeing that's just like, damn. Like Xbox can say what they want. They're still in the console market. They're still going to be, the game developer. But come on, guys. You're just a publisher now. Which, fine. You're the super publisher that bought up all the developers to be the big publisher to make all the money. And you know what? It'll probably work for him. I mean, right? Thanks to this, once again with Jim being wrong, being all gung ho for what do you call it? Microsoft buying Activision. Now we have Seth Rogen in Call of Duty. So well, that just blew up in our face.
Mhm.
Grow on that shit. So anyone who said that it's a bad idea, you were right. There we go. Jimmy's not afraid to say it. But
I mean, let's be honest. Even before that, they put Nicki Minaj in there.
it's fine, Brian. Nicki Minaj is fine.
Jim, you're basically real life Seth Rogen.
And I hate myself, Brian. So
I mean, as we're about to talk about, you're right. Like I said, I don't know. The console war was it's always a weird thing, but like Xbox and PlayStation, they were always going at it. I always look at them. I still to this day look at them as the adult consoles, and Nintendo's the other thing. And I know that's not correct to think of it that way, but it's like I'm almost at the point, let those two merge and become just one fucking thing, like X Station. I don't care. And then have Nintendo be Nintendo and have your PC shit too. Like everything can coexist until somebody else comes along and decides I'm going to be the other console. Maybe it never happens. I don't know. But we've said Xbox is like, yeah, we deliver way better services than any of those guys. And PlayStation's like, we have the best hardware. And Nintendo's like, Joy-Cons. So you're like, okay, what are you going to do? You know?
Brian, we live in a world where Gears of War is on PlayStation and you'll find the most hits on Nintendo. The gaming world I grew up with, Brian, just does not exist anymore.
Well, Jim, speaking of your beloved Nintendo, I'm blaming them for this next one. At least partial blame. Uh, Xbox, they're kind of throwing in a towel with that, but you know what they are jumping on the bandwagon with, Jim? Raising prices of their consoles and saying that their first party games are going to be $80 by the end of the year. Now, there's a few ways you can point this. Just could be a sign of the times, could be tariffs, could be Nintendo who took that first leap to start making that price point. And as we pointed out, once a price point hits something, everyone's going to say, yep, you know what? 80, that does 80, 90. That sounds reasonable. I won't be shocked if PlayStation doesn't come out and say, yeah, yep, that sounds about right. So they're all setting it. It's their first party. Now, the only thing I don't know is like we just talked, Gears of War is like that was a first party. Halo is a first party. Um, I don't know if they're considering like Activision and Bethesda as first parties at this point.
I think they do now just because they own it.
So, and those games, I'm sorry. I am someone who says, like, I think the sliding scale of how much game you get should be appropriate to the price. So, like a Bethesda game, Activision, I could make arguments. Those are $80 games. They have State of Decay on there. I love that game, but that is not a fucking $80 game by any stretch of the imagination. So I don't want to see that be $80. Um, Yeah, and they also, I have the price chart up so you can see it for yourself, but like they're raising the cost of their consoles. I don't know for sure. Like we have the little chart that shows what their consoles were and what they're going up to. Um, their wireless controller went up, and so Yeah, basically their controllers went up, but they don't have anything next to their wireless core controllers. So I don't know the difference between all their controllers. Like some of them went up and some of them, I guess, have stayed the same.
So I think the core is just the standard color scheme, and then
Mm.
the color is just different colored controllers. And
Yeah, but then it's
then
like their limited, their elite wireless, and their wireless headset all went up. So
yeah, so like Xbox Series consoles went up from about $300 to 380. Then it goes up from there. A base Series X went up to $600 from $500. Goes away from there. Elite controllers go up to 150 from 140. Not a huge jump, but still like a really. Some things went up $10, some things went up $100, depending on the size of it. So yeah, they're milk, 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 milk.
and it's funny, we just talked about this. I was pointing out like, dude, the fact that Switch 2 is 450 and Xbox Series X was 500 was insane to me. Okay, now they just hop that up another $100. So the gap is a little wider because it is a better machine, right? Like at the end of the day, no matter what you feel hardware wise, it's better. Um, yeah, I think give it a couple weeks. PlayStation's going to release their increase. And don't think this isn't going to affect your PC shit too. Like if you are someone who wants PC, those prices I'm sure will go up. Not that they were ever cheap before, but they'll go up as well. So yeah, I don't know, Jim. I think it's a nice, perfect storm of Nintendo's blaming tariffs, everyone's blaming tariffs, whether they're getting hit or not, and now Nintendo has set this kind of blaze the trail for everyone to say it's okay, make your games $80, everyone will buy it. Here we
Look,
are.
look, Brian. I'll even make a concession here. Nintendo, they're raising their prices. They're the first to do it, as we know, but they did it worldwide and not just for games in America or ones going over to North America. So
Yeah,
maybe that's to make it fair in the face of all these tariffs. But when you do something like that, even for in Japan, where you're not obviously being hit by tariffs in any way whatsoever, it just comes down to greed and having a scapegoat. Like me, I'll defend Nintendo, and I hate Trump, but I can't fucking not blame Nintendo fully for this. Basically, like
yeah.
the tariffs were probably the thing the there was the scapegoat that they needed, and they went, "Whoa, we can't survive in this environment." And now every single company is going to jump on the $80 bandwagon. It's just a matter of time with Sony, and then, yep, it'll be Jover, Brian. So
You know what it is? Nintendo's that guy in every like war film when they're like the armies are facing each other and they're like there's a truce, but somebody's like holding a bow and they can't quite hold it and they just let it go first, and then all shit broke loose. That's Nintendo. No
yeah,
discipline, Jim.
they some would say they racked the Supreme, Brian. I saw the smirk on your face. You were waiting for it. You
I
set it
was
up.
waiting
I hit
for
it.
I listen, I gave you the T-ball. You went up to it.
Yeah, yeah, had to be done. I couldn't not do it, Brian. Had to be done.
Jim, you hit it out of the park the same way LRG screws up all the time. Because, Jim, I am glad, like most things on this channel or in our life, I end up being right about most things we talk about. Probably 90%, maybe even 95. And, you
If
know,
you could be so bold.
if I can be so bold. Um, and limited run, we've talked about them ad nauseum at this point of just substandard products they've sent out to just shit that you're like, really, you're going to charge this much, to releasing special editions, to not disclosing how much they actually sold, to re-releasing things, all types of this and that. Well, this is just a continuation in this because what is this game called? Shantae.
Shantae Risky's Revolution. So this was a formerly canceled GBA game in the Shantae series that basically they finally went back limited runs, and I think Way Forward does all the developing for these games of Shantae. So they basically finished it off. Way Forward's done a lot of work with past games, either finishing canceled games or bringing old games, porting them to newer consoles and shit like that. So Risky's Revolutions being released through limited run games for everything, but they also made a special cartridge for both the DS or no, the Game Boy Advance, I should say. Game Boy Advance game. Just the way I actually have a copy of their re-release of Shantae on the Game Boy Color. Um, so yeah, but this comes to us from Blue Sky from a user named Vela Cosmos. I have decided that Risky's Revenge or Revolution is not safe to play on my GBAs or DS. I'll be playing with my EverDrive instead. The board is scuffed up. Dirty chips is a new low. Did you pull these from a crusty bucket of scavenged chips and screws? We paid $60 for a $5 bootleg. And then people, go on in there to talk about how crappy the beveled edges are, just the overall quality of the parts that are within there. So, FPGA is okay for batteries, homebrew is dodgy, get a real dumper, all that kind of stuff like that. And yeah, it starts into a thing where they start yelling back and forth about, I guess apparently RetroBit. Turns out, all right, so I'm done posting about this. My launch day rant resulted in obvious damage control sentiment from the manufacturer. Turns out it was RetroBit Gaming. So even there, I guess I can't blame LRG on this one fully. They were okay with shipping us premium price carts with dirty, beat up components, not buying from them again. So RetroBit is another company that's been around forever, re-releasing old stuff. So even I have to say, sorry, LRG, I'm going to change that subject in the thing right now. But yes, it's the world we live in with, bringing retro to real life. And looks like LRG is not the only one who's going to screw this up.
Jim, damn you. But to your point, yeah, I just saw from RetroBit, they said regarding Shantae Advanced Risky Revolution that we produced for Way Forward. Oh, wait, and limited run game. So it still was released by them, not made by them, but released. There have been claims that customers received a PCBA that had cosmetic blemishes. Please rest assured that the cartridges are built to spec and durable. Aside from the imperfections found on a small number of boards, we thoroughly tested through various phases of manufacturing and can confirm that does not affect the gameplay and that the product is built to last. So here's the deal. I saw the board. I'm not a board geek, but even I can see, okay, these chips, they look a little scuffed up, not, I don't think it's okay to ever get something already.
I mean, these chips look like shit that are in this first picture. I gotta say,
yeah,
they are scuffed up to hell. They're dirty. They're dusty. Like for a brand new product, it really shouldn't be like that. And there's posts in the things, going in the thread where people are opening up their cartridges and like the chips will look a little better, but there's still little nicks. There's still little scratches, and sometimes it's a whole different chip for one of the parts. So it's a similar chip that does the same thing, but they're not even using the same parts of these things. They're just shitting them out.
yeah. I mean, it's substandard, but I'm also like, to the guy who put this up, like, it was not safe to play on this, dude. Calm down. A scuffed up chip is not like, calm your tits on that too, right? Like, relax. I completely agree. Number one, you shouldn't have paid for this type of bullshit. Don't pay for any Shantae shit. It's bullshit. But part two, shut up, Jim. But part two.
Well, look, I don't like the Shantae games, so I'm not going to sit here and defend them. But Brian, you don't even know anything about these games. So what do you think?
I've seen enough footage. I've seen what I need to see.
I've seen what I need to see. All right, go on. Racist.
But here's the deal. To say it's not safe, come on. That's where like you're a little too extreme now. Like, all right, like make your point, do your post, say the product is not good, get your money back. But like, I don't know, all that other shit. And this dude, he just went on a whole fucking tear. Yeah, I hate to say this, but like this is once again proof is in the pudding with these kind of companies that keep doing this. On one hand, you're supporting a company that's like bringing you this shit again, and they're probably paying a group of like 20 dudes, not great money to put this shit together. So the quality control is not the same level as like a AAA product. Should it be $60? Maybe not. But then again, you're playing Shantae's Risky Revolution and you paid $60 for it. So who's the sucker? Like there's a level there where I go, if you paid $60 for a brand new AAA game and it had a scratch mark on it. Completely understandable. This is a indie. I'm calling them indie. I'm not saying they're indie, but you know what I'm saying. It's a smaller publisher distributor who's doing this obscure ass game. You're kind of like I'm going to 7-Eleven and getting the meat, the rib flavored meat, and it's substandard. This is crazy. Like, yeah, you know what you're buying. Stop buying this shit.
Yeah, and here's another thing too. One, if you check where you're watching this, I put a link in here. It comes to us from RetroRGB.com. DB Electronics, a guy whose products I've used in the past, and he's out of the game now, but he made like the fantastic Turbo Blaster chipset for the Turbo graphics to get better video quality out of it. He has a great article here about things to look out for quality of cartridges. So it comes down to labels, beveled edges, the finish, all these other things. I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about. But so if you want a little crash course, there's an article for you. But even beyond all that, none of the old first party cartridge makers are around anymore. So the level of quality that you got back then, it doesn't exist. And just because Retrobit can say that they built it to spec, it's their specs for good enough. Like it's still not a true representation of what we had when these things were new. So
Yeah.
not from the first party. So anytime you buy either a brand new game that's put on cartridges or a reprint or something like that, you're always taking the risk, and you should basically know you're almost always going to have an inferior product to something that would have came out in the 90s. That's an unfortunate fact. Some are much better about their quality than others. That's for goddamn sure. Like
Mhm.
Bitmap Bureau, everything that they've ported for old stuff, fantastic. But, limited run, it's going to be hit or miss depending on who they've used. There's actually, give you one quick second. Brian, just keep bashing LRG for a second.
Listen, my problem with LRG at the end of the day is people keep paying them, and you know you're not getting a great product all the time. Not saying all their products are terrible, but they've had delays, they've had issues, and when there's smoke, there's fire. So just be cautious. That's the thing, is like when you buy some shit from somebody that you know burns people all the time, you can't then play the victim. Like if you know, oh, don't go over there and deal with this person. You know, they sometimes fuck people over, and then you get fucked over. You can't be like, but he fucked me over. It's like, but yeah, like that's what we've been saying he's doing. So you can't have it both ways, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, and one more last company to throw under the bus. Pico Interactive. They're not terrible with the games they make. Like I have Jim Paris in the Lost Dimension here. This was a canceled game that they finished up, basically another one of those for the Genesis. It's been on other consoles, and they'll either finish up games or port shit like not Metalhead, but I forgot the fuck the name of the game is. Stuff that was like only exclusive in Europe and ported over to North American stuff for today's audiences. But they are known for very shoddy cartridge quality. So again, like yes, it's easy to blame these companies, but it's also they're not working with what it should be anyway. So you know what? Just buy a fucking EverDrive and just dump the ROMs on there. It's nice. It's nice to have dumb shit on a shelf. I like my dumb shit on a shelf, but even I'm at the point where I'm like, man, I should just get an EverDrive, and if I want to play these games, boom, they're right there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Jim, let's keep up this uber positive podcast with the sale of Polygon. Something I didn't think I would really ever say, because we've talked a lot about Kotaku, who this comes from. We've talked about other gaming journalism sites,
We've talked
and
about Polygon a lot.
we have. Um, but I was shocked to find out that they were sold to Valnet and they were hit with mass layoffs. I do want to caveat. I did look it up, uh, and then I friggin' closed the window. So give me 1 second. So they released, I think, 20 folks, and that accounts for about 20% of their staff. So it's a bummer. It's a decent chunk of them. Valnet, who I was not aware of, but they are a Montreal-based company that operates Screen Rant, Game Rant, comic book resources. It's run by Hassan Youssef, who got his start in digital media with online porn websites. Don't know which ones, they don't talk about in here, but yeah, this is just the AB InBev, I would say, of like internet aggregate sites, and now he's gobbled up Polygon. So, uh, is it a big loss, Jim? You know, we
Uh
talked about liking exclusivity and all these things. What's your thoughts?
Look, I'm a little bit torn on this one, and this actually just comes off the news this week of Giant Bomb closing basically as well, which was one of those long-running video game websites for news articles, the same kind of thing. Right. I have a purely selfish reason why I'm sad to see Polygon leave.
Go on.
Polygon, almost more than Kotaku, was probably like the best site for our Gamers Mad segments because they were, say what you want about Kotaku, but Polygon was even more harshly liberal than even Kotaku is. So they had even more incendiary headlines for what would turn out to be mostly mundane, but sometimes really dog dick stupid fucking articles that would be put out there and easy for us to talk about. They had the legendary Cuphead video where the reviewer couldn't jump over the thing in the tutorial. That was courtesy of Polygon. So we're losing internet history like that. And really, it's going to be a thing once again. Like, a bunch of people lost their jobs. That sucks.
Yeah.
But I've said it before. I'll say it again here, even though it sucks people lost their jobs. There's very few really good gaming journalists out there. It's Jason Schreier and maybe like 10 other people tops. And a lot of these sites, they're like, oh, it's sold to ValNet, like it's just a big, click farmer. It's like Polygon kind of was too. It's like because they would put shit up there solely to get clicks and to make themselves as incendiary as possible. So it's not like you're getting the most quality journalism in the world from a site like that either. But I
Mhm.
guess you have one less place for the few good eggs out there to have a place to work. It sucks. Adds more competition for them, so it's never a good thing. But like, I'm not gonna cry that Polygon's gone. I have no reason to. But it's also a thing where it's like, yeah, but it probably would have been nice if they stuck around. But who knows? Maybe with Valnet at the helm, we'll have even more shit to talk about in the future, Brian.
Jim, aside from getting content for the site, truly, when was the last time you looked up an online written review of a video game? If
I
I don't want to say if ever, I'm sure at some point in your life you have,
No,
but
I mean
like,
I haven't. IGN used to be my go-to for written
yeah, I
video
used to
game
do
reviews.
GameSpot.
Yeah, IGN and GameSpot were where people went to. No one really ever went to Polygon. Like I go to Polygon for their video game reviews when we have a game we're reviewing, and I want to see what all the different people are saying. That's when I have
Mm.
ever gone there. I've never directly gone out of my way to Polygon for anything outside of the website. Same I can say about Kotaku too. But like sometimes sometimes they'll have good, decent guides on there. Like I think one or two of my little quick guides I looked up for Bloodstained came from Polygon. It's like, oh, cool, whatever. Like I didn't give a shit where it came from. Nice little write up, quick and to the point. It's what I needed at the time. But outside of that, I was never like, oh, let me see what Polygon has to say today. That thought has never crossed my mind.
So here's my question. I don't like politics involved with video games, but then again, it's unavoidable because people lean whichever way they want, right? And is it bad to your point? Like, if you're going to do a review of a game, don't you almost want to know both points? Like same way, like if you want to have Fox News to be like, what is the right saying about a situation? What's the left? Like if Polygon was your left version of a game review for a game, it'd be like, all right, what are they saying? I don't know what the equivalent if there's a right leaning video game review
A-
site.
Anything you would see would just be owned by a couple people.
Yeah. So it's like I agree with you. I think it would be interesting to have that available just so you can see a different opinion. Even if you completely disagree with it, you'd be like, maybe they point out something, right? Like at some point there's something beyond graphic sound control where you're like, oh, they're picking up on this like thing about the story that I'm like, okay. Didn't
Yeah,
think about that.
something I never think of. Yeah.
Yeah. So or it sometimes is interesting to be like, how could somebody hate this game, right? Like, I like hearing every version of a story of like how it's being interpreted. So I'm just shocked, just because I thought Polygon was one of those, uh, even though they were a little bit of a joke, a little bit of an institution, like a Kotaku, like some of these. So yeah, I don't think it's good. I think you're going to have a bigger umbrella with more of the same shit now. So
Yeah, and really, if Polygon can fail, what does that say about IGN and Kotaku and the few others that are left? Like Rooster Teeth's gone, Giant Bomb's gone, Polygon's gone. It's like,
yeah, it's really down to
how many are left?
GameSpot,
Yeah.
IGN, and yeah, Kotaku. Like,
I mean,
it ain't
GameSpot's
much.
barely there. Like, they're not what they used to be.
That's what I mean. So, like, if I was even in Kotaku writing that article, I'd kind of also be like, oh shit, could this happen to me?
And I mean,
Like,
Kotaku's had their share of problems in the last year or
uh-huh.
so. Like, they've had massive layoffs. So,
Yeah,
the whole industry of games journalism is just like, now, did they all hire more people than they should have? Was there some mismanagement there too? It's
could
possible.
be.
But,
Yeah,
like, do you need 30 writers per se? Like, I don't know how many are on each of these, but, do you need 30 to 50 writers for every website? Probably not. But, it's another thing too, where it's just like, yeah, but it's still, you would have had enough and, you're big stars for them. I don't know. It's weird.
yeah. Like I said, I enjoyed their goofiness. Didn't think they would fail, but here we are, Jim. We're in a interesting time where, like you said, maybe there's something politicized behind it. People like to be up in arms about a lot of things, no matter where you are. And that brings us to our final topic today, Jim. So you have this running for us for our normie view. So why don't you lay the groundwork for what I'm going to be talking about?
Yes, Brian, the NormieView is back this week, a fan favorite, and we are dipping into the world of sport. And not just any world of sport, Brian. American professional football, the real football, the football people actually care about. And when you talk about football, you have to talk about the cream of the crop, the top of the line, Brian. You talk about your Super Bowl champion, Philadelphia Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them made some waves this past week. All-star running back, savior of the franchise, one could say at this point, Saquon Barkley. He got himself the ire of a lot of Eagles Nation. Me being the Twitter guy, I follow a lot of Philly sports pages, and oh, did those blow up this week because he went out, Bry, and he had him a nice little day of golf with one President Donald J. Trump. So this, as is tradition, once a team wins a championship, the president will invite said team to the White House for a visit. The weekend, not the weekend, but a couple days before the actual scheduled visit, Saquon not only did the visit, which has some people pissed off, but he went and he hung out with Trump basically for the day, did a whole golf outing with him. And the internet went crazy to the point where he was getting all these hate replies on everything, people constantly tweeting about him, to where he eventually wrote on April the 28th, LOL, some people are really upset because I played golf and flew to the White House with the president. Maybe I respect the office, not a hard concept to understand. Just golfed with Obama not too long ago and looking forward to finishing my round with Trump. Now, y'all get out my mentions with this politics and have an amazing day. Laughy face. So, Brian, where do you stand on this?
Well,
As a
one,
guy who's not in the Twitter bubble, what do you have to say about our dear, beloved Saquon Barkley?
I mean, once again, going back to Brian tried about everything. Beginning of the season, I said it's going to be the best running back we've ever had. You shunned me on that. And this season,
You got so fucking lucky that the guy who gets injured every year had one of the best seasons of all time. You got so
Jim,
goddamn lucky.
is it? Do I need to go back to my percentage of being right? Is it luck or is it being right? Which
No,
is it?
that's just fucking fuck you, fuck your luck,
Is
and
it?
fuck
Is
your.
it? Is it luck?
You're
Is
called
it
Brian
Jim? Jim?
Bullshit Quinn. It's not being right. It's just your bullshit. We
Jim?
all know it. You
Jim?
know it. Everyone
Did I?
calls you it. You fucking know it.
The question is,
You are
did
Kramer.
I?
You slip
Did
on a banana peel and land in success. You are so full of goddamn shit all the fucking time. I don't want to
but
fucking hear it.
But Jim, did I make the
Mister never
basket?
watched a game for anyone but the Eagles. All of a
Jim,
sudden knows that Saquon Barkley is
Jim,
going to put up the best season of all time. Fuck you.
Jim, did I make the basket on a swing on the first shot? Is my question.
Made the half court shot, bro.
So, all right, number one, maybe it's the Philly in me. I'm always going to defend dudes on the Eagles unless they do something truly deplorable. I will say I couldn't ever fully back Michael Vick. I always had a bad taste in my mouth with him coming to the Eagles. But playing golf with the president, and I know where people stand, and I get that you may hate the guy, but if you are arguably the top of the top in athletes, it's not uncommon to be invited to the White House. I don't know how common it is to go golfing with them, but like I'm sure it happens a lot. And yeah, it's one of those things like Jim will never be big enough. But regardless of your political standing, whether it was Biden or Trump or whoever on either side, if somebody said, "I'd like to come on your podcast," I don't care where you stand. You'd be an idiot to say, "Nope, I'm not doing that." So yeah, to get flown out to just see the White House. I know he said he golfed with Obama. I don't know if he meant like he golfed when Obama was in office or
No,
like
I think it was fairly recently.
yeah. So just to be able to see the White House, that's a thing to itself. Like it doesn't mean anything. Saquon may not even have voted for Trump, but it's like it's one of those things. Now, people, once again, I get you have very extreme opinions. I personally, I have an issue with relating political figures to, certain people during World War II, I'll say. Like, I think that gets thrown out there way too much. Um, yeah, I think you just got to leave Saquon alone. He went and he played golf and he saw the White House. If he was endorsing and wearing a hat and doing all these things and doing commercials, you can, okay, if you're really against it, then you can support it. But to go play golf, just leave him alone. Best goddamn running back. Do I need to show the replay of his backwards jump over a dude? You do that in the NFL, and you know what? You earn the right to do kind of whatever you want that shouldn't catch shit for playing golf with a president. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that. Like I said, I think most of the comments that were like, "Don't ever put Obama and Trump in the same sentence again." Da, da, da. I'm like, dude, there was nothing political, I think, in Saquon's mind at all when he was doing that. It was like a weird like opportunity, like it was a thing. He's like, yeah, I'll do that. So I don't know. I leave it at that. Some people tie their entire identities to this shit. He's the top tier cream of the crop athlete, and he was invited to the White House. So I leave it at that. It's not that big of a deal. Doesn't mean anything. Once again, he could in the next 4 years endorse whoever from the left. And then are you okay with him all of a sudden? Like, I don't know. I think it's silly. I think it's overblown. Um,
Well, yeah, if he
but
endorses the left, then the people on the right will hate him. So it'll be that same thing back and forth anyway.
if he went the route of Kanye and the crazy shit Kanye was doing, different story. He's just playing golf. That's all.
Yeah, so here's the thing. One, there's no way I'm not going to be biased in this because he got us a Super Bowl, and if he gets us another one, he could suck Trump's dick on the 50-yard line, and I would not care. He could take the
Damn it,
full load
Jim.
in his mouth and spray it into the
Damn
crowd like
it,
Triple H,
Jim.
and I would not care if he brings us another Super Bowl. All right, getting that out there. But one, all the Phillies Twitter, Eagle Twitter, Philly Sports Twitter crying right now. The second he makes a touchdown, you're not going to care anymore.
No one's
That's
going to
just
care.
that's the truth of the matter. And
Mm-hmm.
to people out there who like sports, if you are very left leaning, you have to realize something. Probably 90% of the people you're a fan of probably voted for Trump.
Yeah.
I have no idea if Saquon voted for him or not. He's not saying either way. Probably the safe route to go at this point, but Like there is anyone who's rich most likely voted for Trump. Anyone who like prioritizes, perceived masculinity voted for Trump. Depending on what sport you like I like pro wrestling. Fucking 95% of pro wrestling people love Trump and shit like that. So it's just the thing you have to accept. If you're going to watch sports, you have to accept that most of your athletes you love aren't going to align with you politically.
Hmm.
And even to Brian's point, I'll say, look, in these volatile times, I would say going with the most volatile politician out there. If you're trying to stay out of trouble, it's probably not a good idea to do it. But in the last couple months since winning the Super Bowl, he's golfed with Obama, he's golfed with Trump, he's hung out with Timothy Chalamet, and tonight he's at the Met Gala. I think he's legitimately just doing every single event and just living it up right now and hanging out with anyone and everyone. So he legitimately might, to your point, just not care and be like, oh yeah, I'll do this. Oh yeah, I'll do that. Cool. I have all these
Yeah.
opportunities. Why would I squander any of them? So he literally could just be that kind of guy. So
Yeah.
again, I would be biased here because I'm never going to hate a guy who brought us the title. But you know what? If you can't also, be a public figure and do something, anything political related and not expect backlash though, too. Like to say you can't bring politics in everything, it's like, well, if you don't want to bring politics into it, then don't hang out with a politician. I can leave it at that. You can make life
I
very simple
mean,
for yourself then.
it would be the same. It's tough to say, but like, imagine if if he hung out with Kanye, but like, he was like, I don't really fuck with his music, but I got a chance to hang out with Kanye. He's a crazy mother. Like, would people be giving him shit for that?
Oh yeah.
But that's my point, right? Like, would you be giving him shit saying like, you will clearly agree and align with him versus you can't recognize you just had an opportunity to hang with someone ultra famous? Like agree or not, like that's where I differ on it. I'm like you said, he's doing all this like celebrity shit. He's a celebrity. He's beyond just a athlete. He's a celebrity.
Yes,
So
he has gone into celebrity. He's been on Fallon. He's hanging with all these celebrities and shit. Yes.
and he earned it, and he should be doing that shit. Like he's he's gonna do shit that's gonna get him paid one way or another. Guess what? If whether he supports Trump or not, him doing that, there will be some Trump people out there that might go, I'm going to buy Saquon jersey now. And it's money in his pocket. So, you know, I don't know. I
And
just
it's not
think
like he's being like Bosa on the 49ers who would like run up to post game interviews in a Make America Great Again hat. He's not doing shit like that. He's not
that's my
he's not
point. If he
he's
was
not
like,
tweeting like Aubrey Huff. He's not doing all that kind of bull crap. So even no matter where he lies, he's at least being smart enough to not be like, yeah, this guy's right. He's just like, man, I just golfed with the president. So
it's the same way as like, does, does every Super Bowl team go to the White House?
So I think everyone gets invited to, but it's the teams can go where they don't go. Like I think the 2017 Eagles, for whatever reason, weren't invited or they didn't go. I forget which. I think it was
Yeah. So,
both.
so my point right there is I think any team should just go, regardless of it. Like, it's just an opportunity, like for the White House, for the office, for that thing. Um, But yeah, I get people, man. Sometimes people just need things to be upset about. But leave Saquon alone. He's an Eagle. I'm gonna support him. Granted, if he was on a different team, maybe I'd have a different opinion. But that's our Philly bias. So
Oh, I mean, it would be very easy to bash him. It's like, oh, this fucking, how dare he, while this guy takes away people's rights, be out there and shit like that. Oh, I would use that against him in a heartbeat.
well, here's
But
what I
yes,
love.
we are biased.
I would say Kansas City would be blasting him, but we know they're all for Trump anyway in
Oh
Kansas
my
City.
God, yeah.
So
Like, fuck. You think
so
Patrick Mahomes wouldn't be there in a heartbeat, dressed to the nines in his
exactly.
Sunday best? Come on now.
So yeah, leave Saquon alone. That's all I'm gonna say.
But hey, Jalen Hurts, scheduling conflict, quote unquote. So he didn't show up.
Yeah.
A bunch of Eagles didn't go to it. So
Guess
hey,
what? Even if he showed up, you better leave Jalen alone too. That's all I'm gonna say.
what you mean better than all the other quarterbacks out there, except for maybe Patrick Mahomes? Yeah.
He's better than him. He's not as much of a pussy. He's not as protected. I'm gonna say that. Patrick
Well,
Mahomes ain't squatting
that's
500.
I
Let's be
mean,
honest.
who is really? Well, besides one Saquon Barkley, that is.
I mean, Saquon can do like 6 or 7. I mean, he made Jalen look silly sometimes, but that's neither here nor there, Jim. It's one team, one love.
One team, one city, one love. But yes, so that is the Normie View for the week. Let us know below. I'm sure for all the out of towners, what do you feel about this? And take into account what he's been doing lately as well before you go. No, fuck him. You shouldn't be. I mean, I'd be saying the same shit too.
Just imagine if your team, if you are out of town, imagine your team won the Super Bowl and Saquon was on your team and he was your running back. Would you feel the same way? And I know it's tough to say, but
where would you go?
imagine.
Oh, you.
The only people I'll fully allow to be angry are Giants fans. I'll allow them to be angry for the rest of their lives. I'll just say that.
Look, if they didn't want to have Saquon hurt all the time, they shouldn't have such a shitty field. All right? I mean, it just comes down to it. Put some real grass down, you fucking cheap fucks.
So Chambers,
put down some real grass, sign Barkley, but oops, he didn't do either, and now we won a Super Bowl. So thank you, Giants. Dan from Console Wars, I want to specifically thank you for that gift.
So Chambers, how did the Warhead treat you? Did it get better as it went on? Your expired S beer?
It's fine.
No, it's fine.
It didn't really get any better. There's nothing special about it. It's a blue raspberry sour. It's nothing special. As a sour beer, it's nothing special. I didn't hate it. There's nothing to hate about it, but it's nothing I would ever go out of my way to buy.
Yeah. Like I said, it's really good. It's smooth. It's odd because the sugar does build up from the honey. So you kind of forget you're having an IPA, which is a little dangerous because IPA hangovers can be a little worse. But it is damn good. And I am very interested in 10-7 Brewing. So I'm going to see what else they sell around us and try them out. But I like variations on beers, and I've never had a honey IPA. So I'll recommend it. Considering they're from North Wales, I can't imagine their distribution is huge. But if you're local to that area, make sure you try them out. Pretty damn good beer. So with that, folks, we want to say thank you all so much for listening and watching. If you are watching on YouTube, hit the subscription, hit the notification bell, leave us a comment, leave us a like, let us know what you liked and didn't like. And if you are listening on iTunes, Podbean, or Spotify, hit the subscribe button. And if you leave us a 5-star rating, we'll read each and every one of your comments on these Power Hour podcasts. With that, we want to say have a good night, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.